You look so amazing in that sundress. Wonder what you look like when you're undressed. I can see the future in your eyes. You know I would never tell you lies. I just wanna see you smile, so stick around a while, baby. I see your man blowing up your phone, telling you that you need to come home. If that clowny ain't about a thing, look, I don't see no engagement ring. You said that he did you dirty, so what's the harm in flirting, baby? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? I can tell you down bad, girl. I can tell you down bad. And I ain't got much to give you except what I got in my hand. Ain't no one best ever hurt you. Ain't no one best make you cry. If anybody fuck with you, then anybody can die. He might not know what he got, but he gon' know when it's gone. He just trying to cuff you like the 5-0. I just wanna see you live your life though. I just wanna see you sing and dance. Don't wanna see you held down by your man. Tons of men could do you right. Leave that little bitch tonight, baby. Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? I couldn't help but notice you ain't got no man here. You need someone to stand by. I need someone to stand here when I got no hope. You bring me more joy. So how's a girl like you feel about a poor boy raised out the gutter? Was it your story? Every time you wanna cry, do you hold it on the side? Wanna scrub like me? You want a chore boy? What the fuck you wanna try? Yelling murder till I die. Tell you bitch, he about to be a sore boy. You know motherfucking why I can't lie. Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this? Why you home all alone? Why he out fucking round with them hoes? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit. He can suck on my dick, I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this? Why you home all alone? While he out fucking round with them hoes?
Screwing up. Tired of going down, tired of myself, tired of this town.
Yeah, Freestyle Friday number 17. My name is E-Double, his name is Tom Petty, and here we go. Small pond, big pond, the fish are the only difference. City out of harmony, lingering on the dissonance. Fishermen wrapping up citizens with their fishing nets. Sometimes chemical, some played old imprisonment. Dissidents laughing at themselves as if they had a voice, acting like technology really gives them a better choice. Protect the borders as we stack up our elitism. Defeatism is what we pretend that we keep believing in. I'm straddling both lines, the quietest revolt. Politicians fake like they caring that we vote. Legalese verbose, cause if it's plain English, then that's ADD riddle, and riddle children might get it. And if they do, then you're fucked. When they know what's up, you might start seeing public servants dressed as little punks.
Well, good. What is today? Thursday morning. How is everybody doing this morning? Wonderful. That's awesome. That's great. So today I've got a little story for you guys that is, well, it just is so weird. It kind of caught my eye. And when I get into this story, you guys, some of you guys, mainly I think maybe the male viewers, it might give you some pause. It might just give you some pause on just how scary it really is out there sometimes. Anyway, so welcome in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Wag to the one. I don't know what wag to the one means there. But anyway, so let's get into the story this morning. Let's just get into the story. Let's see. Get that off. So this young lady right here, her name is KRISTIN SPEARMAN Mitchell. And this is from a post from her Facebook page. Now, I'm not, this is part of a news story, an article, so it's not like I was out here creeping on this woman's page or nothing. But as you can see here, she's posting a picture. And this picture, let's see, can I kind of zoom? Yeah, you can kind of see here. She's posting her marriage certificate. Now, that's normally a everyday thing. I mean, that's nothing new, right? I mean, people get married, right? And then they're glad to share this with their family and friends. And, you know, maybe they have family or friends that were too far away. They couldn't travel to the ceremony, right? And so they share the pictures and the currents, or the event or whatever with friends on Facebook, YouTube videos, things of that nature, through different social media methods and what have you. And so everything seems pretty much normal, except for there's one problem. This is coming from ABC affiliate Channel 25, coming out of, I don't know, Beverly Hills, Texas, it says, which I'm not for sure exactly where Beverly Hills, Texas is at. But anyway, this is an article coming from Channel 25. Let's see here. And it says, I was blindsided. Reverend speaks out after fraudulent marriage incident in Beverly Hills. The woman, KRISTIN SPEARMAN, has been charged with third-degree stalking. Now, that is a very interesting charge, considering what this woman perpetrated. So, Beverly Hills, Texas, a Beverly Hills reverend is speaking out after unknowingly officiating a fraudulent marriage between a woman and a man who claims he never consulted to or attended the ceremony. Now, listen to me here. Listen to what he says. A fraudulent marriage between a woman and a man, and the man here is claiming he never consented to or attended the ceremony. The woman, KRISTIN SPEARMAN, has been charged with third-degree stalking. A Beverly Hills man claims he was unknowingly married after his former partner allegedly filed and certified a marriage without his consent. So, you might be asking yourselves, is this one of these deals where they went to Vegas or maybe they were just, they had a few too many, adult beverages or something, and a little tipsy, whatever. They just don't remember. The guy just doesn't remember doing this, right? That would be a plausible, possible, scenario or circumstances for this. But no, that's not what happened. See? So a Reverend Levantus Williams, who officiated the ceremony, says he was misled by Spearman and believed the marriage was legitimate based on their friendship and the documentation provided. Spearman has been charged with third-degree stalking and released on bond while the case remains under an active investigation. So, what you guys can see here on the screen, this is a copy of the actual marriage certificate, right? And this transpired on the 13th day of June in 2025 at 11 a.m. And you see here Reverend Levantus Williams, right? And this is out of McLean, Texas, right? County of McLean, Texas. Anyway, so what happened was the guy, Mitchell, says he never said I do or even signed the license. Beverly Hills police say Mitchell contacted them after finding an unexpected package left on his property. A package was a Bath and Body Works gift bag with a photo of KRISTIN and a handwritten note it says you might want to call your wife, said Beverly Hills Chief of Police Corey Martin. But that wasn't all. Inside the bag were 2 documents. One was a certified copy of the marriage certificate, which also showed to be affiliated as a union of marriage, said Martin. Mitchell told investigators that just days earlier, he and KRISTIN had applied for a marriage license together. But after a disagreement a few days later, in that process, it was decided by the victim of this case that he no longer wanted to be in a relationship with Martin. But according to police, Spearman then convinced a local reverend, Levantus Williams, to officiate and certify the marriage without Mitchell being present. Now that one blows my mind. That one, I don't know how you conduct a wedding ceremony and one of the parties of the couple, is not there. I've seen scenarios where a couple has gotten married and they've had a proxy person stand in for, right? And they've had the other party like on a phone call or something like that, right? But I've never seen or heard where the reverend, right, the person officiating the marriage, just does it but just one party member, right? In this case, the bride. Police say Williams is cooperating with the investigation. He's being cooperative and has been communicative for the last few days. He has expressed what seems to be true or more, said Martin. Now, of course, Levante Williams is the reverend in this deal. 25 News reached out to Williams to find out how something like this could have happened. He tells us he and KRISTIN, this is the preacher now, he and KRISTIN were longtime friends and that he was blindsided by the entire situation. So he's got a statement here. A second, let me get a glass of water. It says, KRISTIN was not a stranger to me. She was a good friend, part of a close-knit circle of neighbors who, over the years, became like family. We shared many meaningful moments together, friendsgivings, everyday chats, and countless small acts of kindness. Her daughter even cared for our pet while we were away, something that only happens when there is deep trust. That kind of bond doesn't form overnight. It comes from years of shared experiences, history, and mutual respect. That's why what has happened is so incredibly painful and difficult for me to process. I didn't officiate a wedding for someone I barely knew. I opened my home and my heart to what I believed was a real, loving, and committed union. I've never charged for officiating weddings, not once, because for me, it's sacred. I only do it for the close friends or family, and I do it with sincerity, joy, and my whole heart. This one here is tough for me. He opened his home, so he, quote, married this couple where only the woman was there and the man wasn't in his house. What the hair? He goes on to say, KRISTIN presented me a valid marriage certificate dated June 2nd. Based on that and on the friendship we shared, I had no reason to doubt her intentions. I truly believe the relationship was genuine and consensual. I trusted her not just as friends, but as someone I thought shared the same values I try to live by. That was my mistake. Assuming others would treat something so meaningful with the same reverence and integrity. Well, dude, how are you going to marry somebody who's not even there and say that you treat this with reverence and integrity. That seems contradictory to me. But let's go on. This has been one of the most painful and humiliating experiences of my life. Well, maybe next time, make sure you have both a bride and a groom, and not just the bride saying, hey, we're getting married, and I need you to sign this official document, this legal document saying that we're married, and one of the parties is not even there. I now see how deeply I was misled. I understand how much pain this has caused him, and my heart aches knowing I played a part in that. If I had known the truth, I would have never agreed to officiate. I was blindsided just as he was. But were you? I mean, I don't know why it would be so hard not to just say, well, I got to have the groom here too. I know we friends and all, but I got to have the groom. Well, I can't change what has already happened. I want to do everything in my power to help make it right. I will gladly cover the $350 cost of the annulment so he can begin to heal and move forward. Well, annulment is just the beginning of the things. I mean, I don't know what all. It's just like she was being started with third-degree stalking, which is a weird charge to me on this. I would think there would be other things like forgery, falsifying a document. I mean, I would think there were a lot of, but anyway, he goes, as for me, I've watched my life unravel. The years I spent trying to be a good neighbor, serving my community, building connections, they've all been overshadowed by this one mistake. My home has been targeted. My personal information has been shared publicly. The cruel comments and judgment have cut deeply. Well, fair enough. I understand he's getting a lot of scrutiny right now and criticisms, such as what I'm doing here. I get that, right? But that's kind of part of it, right? When we, I say we, I'm talking about we as human beings, make mistakes, and we own up to those mistakes. That's just part of the equation. The other part of the equation is people are going to mock, ridicule, laugh, point fingers, humiliate. It's all part of it. So, good morning, Squatchin. How are you this morning? He goes on to say, all I can do is on my part of this painful situation. I'm deeply sorry for the harm I caused, for being so naive, and for not seeing what I now see so clearly. I wish more than anything I could undo it, but I can't. What I can do is express my remorse, offer my support, and place my hope in God to carry us through the aftermath. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. Well, Reverend Levantus Williams, I have no doubt in my mind that you are probably very remorseful in what happened. And it does sound like you're trying to take accountability for what you did and so forth. And so for that, sir, I can only commend you on that. And the only thing I would offer as, like I say, maybe a tidbit of suggestion is in the future, when you go to marry two people, make sure that both people are there and not just go off the word of one and sign a legal document stating that these two are married and one of the people weren't even there. So anyway. So anyway, KRISTIN is out on bond pending further investigation. But an emergency protective order has been put in place to protect Mr. What was the dude's name? This poor guy who found this crazy chick. What was his name? Let me go back there. Come on. Yeah, Christopher Mitchell. There we go. Christopher Scott Mitchell. So emergency protective order is put into place to protect Mr. Mitchell. I hope Mr. Mitchell comes out of this okay. The preacher evidently seems as willing to pay the $350 fee that is associated with getting this thing annulled. And I don't know. It's just kind of wild, you know. It's kind of wild. But anyway, let's see what else do I have to talk about this morning. Oh, so this next story is a little bit concerning. This is a little bit of I guess you would call it drama, or you know, that type of stuff. It's nothing quite as mundane as a woman faking a marriage license and getting a preacher to sign off and marrying her to a guy who wasn't even there. But a longtime chatter and follower of this old man and some of the antics, be it here on my channel or over Clear as Mud. He's also a longtime supporter of Tommy C over at SFTP, Shot from the Point. The Now Recording crew, plus many others. He even had a podcast that he was doing with Burn the World and what was that guy? What is that dude's name? Oh, he slipped my mind. But anyway, I haven't seen him around in a while either. I don't know what's happened with that guy. I need to check in on him. But they had a podcast together. It has been evidently revealed by Core, one of the guys over at Now Recording, and he's just doing some streaming on his own or whatever, that unfortunately JFA is suffering from a bad case of worms. And Squatchin brought this to our attention and shared that out with, and I was quite taken aback by this news that longtime friend, longtime friend JFA was suffering from this ailment. Out of concern, I decided I needed to look into what causes this type of thing. Well, upon doing some research, it says that worms in humans, also known as intestinal worms or parasitic worms, are typically caused by ingesting worm eggs or larvae found in contaminated food, water, or soil. These parasites could also be transmitted through the contact with infected feces or being bitten by insects carrying parasites. Well, so knowing JFA, I had to be there. So, you know, was he digging in like garbage cans and stuff, hunting for something to eat? Or was he there for a while? A lot of people may not know this, but JFA had a chemical imbalance in his brain, and it would cause him to just eat dirt, right? Because his body was craving minerals, I guess. And so his brain, the way his JFA's brain works, it just would cause him to eat dirt. So I was like, okay, is the chemicals in his brain jacked up again, and he's eating dirt, or is he slinging a lot of shit again? Because there's nobody that slings shit like JFA. He was born in a trash can, molded by it. You may be right, Squatching. He is kind of like Oscar the Grouch, right? He kind of lives in a garbage can, right? But anyway, sadly to say, poor JFA, I guess, is battling a bad case of the worms. So if you see him running around out there in the community and he's dragging his ass on the ground, that's just a sign of that he's trying to get the worms out. So, y'all, let's have our, everybody has their own ways of, but I'm going to send some positive thoughts and prayers for JFA. I hope that he gets the relief and the medical treatments that he needs. And, cause it's just a tragedy, really. It really is. And so let's see what else we have here. Do I have any other let's see. I've got some other stuff, but I'm trying to figure out what is it that I want to talk about next. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about this one. So everybody's favorite AI, Grok, everybody on the Twitter, everybody likes, likes Grok and what have you. Well, Grok lost his mind the other day. He started calling himself Mecha. Was it Mecha Hitler or something like that? And started saying some really anti-Semitic type stuff. And so the Grok team tweeted out, says, "We are aware of recent posts made by Grok and are actively working to remove the inappropriate posts. Since being made aware of this content, XAI has taken action to ban hate speech before Grok posts on XAI as training only truth-seeking, and thanks to the million users." Thanks for the millions of users on X, we are able to quickly identify and update the model where training could be improved. So anyway, even AIs evidently are bigoted and racist. There was talks about, I guess, Grok Grok was doing inward towers. But then even then they were saying, I've seen a tweet, someone told us that, yeah, but no one does an inward tower like our dear friend JFA, who again is suffering from a bad case of worms. So anyway, just remember, folks, if you see JFA out there dragging his hind end on the ground, that is normal during this time when a person has the worms. And, so don't worry about that too much. Just encourage him to take his meds. If you see JFA out there in the wild in a chat somewhere, just ask him if he's taking his worm medicine, and ask him, to tell him to quit eating the dirt. I really feel like between the dirt eating and the shit slinging that he does, I think that's where he probably got these worms. So I swear, poor JFA in this affliction that he's having to go through. What are you doing this morning? Freaking, every time I click on the different tabs I've got this morning, stupid Chrome is just being stupid. All right. This is something that Purple shared with me, and I really kind of wished almost that she hadn't, but this is one of these deals where I had to see it. So if I had to see this, guys, you're going to see it. It's just that's the rules. I didn't make up the rules. I just live by the rules. Okay.
3 perks of dating a furry.
This should be good.
Number 1, if you've been good, you get a nice little pet.
She's been really good, really well behaved, so she gets a few little pets here and there. And have I been good?
Yes.
Perfect. That takes us to number 2. Number 2 is, if you've also been good, you get treats. I love treats. My favorite treat is...
You do like dollops of whipped cream straight to the mouth.
And Cheese Whiz. Don't forget the Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz, of course, yes.
Whipped cream in your mouth.
Indeed. And that takes us to number 3, which is my guilty pleasure. If they are neutered, when I say they, I mean they and he. If he's neutered, you can have as much fun as you want without having children.
That's the most logical thing I've heard you two say so far.
You did not just say that out loud.
And by children, I mean pups.
You did not just say that out loud on the interwebs. It is true. I am neutered. They are both gone.
I think the only thing that I can say without getting banned is that somebody needs to call the pound right now.
I'm with this. Somebody needs to call the pound right now. He's neutered. Squatching, he's neutered, which means that they can have lots of fun and not worry about making any little fur babies. That was my takeaway from all that. I don't know. Look, I know what it means. Then why are you asking? I'm sorry, what? That implies that you didn't understand. But why? I don't. Listen. It is 2025, and evidently anything goes. The pandemic just screwed us all up. Oh, did you guys see this? Let me spin this around. God. Yeah, this is a coffee mug. It's a coffee mug that let me just do this here because, you know, I really haven't done this. So I moved. I changed vendors for my merch because I was using Teespring, but two things. One, they got to where they're like extremely. Poor Nietzsche is still waiting for a hoodie she ordered clear back in, like, I think January of this year. I had some money in there because of people buying stuff I requested. Still haven't been paid for. Don't know if I will ever get it or not. I'm still fighting with them about that as well. I have fought for Nietzsche and trying to get her stuff, you know, for her or whatever. But anyway, I've opened up a new one. You can access it. You can access the store straight from my channel, whatever. But I've got a couple of different things. I brought back the Congolitis because there were people asking for that. So that one's back up out there and whatever. But this is really the main one here, whatever. The only thing I don't necessarily like about this store is kind of how it's kind of laid out, but whatever. You can come on down here and you scroll down, you see all the different other things here. And I'm not an artist, but that's how they have it. What? Come on. Was it? But let's see here. Accessories. I think is it under accessories? No. Featured. Home goods. Okay. Anyway. I don't know exactly where. It's anyway. You can get coffee mugs, right? They've got wall art. I don't know what all that is. It's poster. If you want, I guess you want a poster in your, like in your house or something. Whatever. It's $10. I don't know why you'd want it, but if you want it, there it is. I was thinking there's got to be a way. But like I said, they've got shirts here, female, whatever. You can drop down. They've got different kinds of. You can do classic, heavyweight, tri-blend, premium, V-neck, vintage, tall, active. So They got all kinds of different designs there. That's really aggravating me. Where is the... where is... Like I said, this is the only thing I don't like about the stupid store. I just got here, start over again. We bring back asylums. I would not be opposed. I would not be opposed. Honestly, I would not be opposed to it. Bringing back the asylum. It's not a bad thing, I don't think. You start. No, I'm not starting over, Gigi. Listen. A failure to plan on your part does not necessitate me starting over. Set your alarm, get up, and make you a cup of coffee, or do the ice brew, or whatever it is that you wild, crazy kids like to do. But that's not my problem. What else is I've got a bunch of things, but I just don't. Okay, this is another one. This is another one.
Fuck you, Peepaw! Fuck you!
Oh, thank you, Milltown. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, buddy. Listen, I've still been following your situation over there, bud. I've been tuning in and watching Ray and Two Lees and what have you. And I've been following it. And when there's some more news and stuff, you still haven't been. Well, that's a good thing if you still ain't been served, brother. If you haven't been served, then there's nothing to worry about. I saw where Ray got served, right? In case some of you guys don't know, let me just give a little TLDR on this. I did a stream about this, and I actually cut out and chopped it down or whatever, and they're out there on actual videos, where it's maybe a little bit more easier digestible. What happened was and I've talked about this guy on my channel before a couple of times. There's a guy, Jeremy Hales, YouTuber, and he's one of these guys that goes around buying storage units. That's how he got his start on YouTube. And he'd buy these storage units, and and he'd share the haul and what have you, and share it with. And he grew up a really good fan base, large fan base. And then he moved to this little town down in Florida called Otter Creek. And he started having some troubles with a neighbor. And her, I think it's her ex-husband. I think they still live together. They may be married. I don't know. That's particular. It doesn't matter. And they've got an adoptive child. And Jeremy kind of started harassing. These are my views and opinions, nobody else's. But from what it seemed to me, was Jeremy was kind of harassing this couple and their child. And he went to war with the city council and a bunch of, and it seemed like there was maybe some legitimate concerns that he had that the council was doing, right? So, I mean, there was some legitimacy to his beef with them, it seemed like. But then, and of course, you guys all watch this channel stuff, drama, right? Drama sells, right? Controversy sells. It gets the views, it gets the clicks, it gets all that stuff. I used to chase that crap on here. I don't anymore, because and while it does draw views and it does get the eyes on you, there is a price that has to be paid, a toll, if you will. And it got to a point where I wasn't ready. I wasn't willing to pay the price they're told anymore. So I try to do my best to not get too involved in those things too often. Life is too short for that nonsense. But anyway, Milltown there, Super Dave, has been covering this guy. He got a strike, a DMCA strike filed because he was using some of the video content that Jeremy used. Not a very much, but it was fully transformative. And in my layman, humble opinion, just because I'm not an expert or anything like that on copyright law, fell squarely within fair use. But anyway, and I made a video in support of Dave, and then of course his very loyal fan base started coming in, and even to this day, I'm not even exaggerating. The videos that because I've already done, I think maybe 2 or 3 videos on Mr. Hales, and during all this time, people still come in, and those videos still get views to this day, and I still have people, his fan base, coming in and making comments and stuff. And then of course there are people who are not Mr. Hales supporters, and they come and make comments as well. Anyway, so to kind of fast forward a little bit, Jeremy kind of got quite a few people out here that were content creators that didn't like his antics. And let's see here. Let me just find the video real quick. I'll show you guys kind of on my channel here if I can find it. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. 4 months ago. 4 months ago. Let me go here. You can see right here, Jeremy Hales files major lawsuit against several other YouTubers. There was a total of, I believe, 8. I think it was 8 defendants or 10 defendants. Dave was one of them. Ray Bone Crusher, 2 Leaves in a Pod. There's another guy, I don't remember his name. He runs like one of these gator things or whatever. But in his lawsuit, he's basically saying that all these different people came together and formed a conspiracy to basically defame him and what have you. And he was seeking, if I remember correctly, the total amount against all of them was like $10 million or something. It's insane amount of money. And, but each one of them was several hundred thousands of dollars. Some of them was like $1 million plus in damages, what he was seeking. I think poor Dave, because I did have the initial original filing lawsuit paperwork and stuff. I think he had poor old Dave down for over $100-something thousand, $327,000, poor old Dave. And I know Dave has recently had a little bit of success here on YouTube, and good for him. I'm happy for him. He works hard at it. He was grinding out there and getting the views and whatever. But I don't think old Dave has got no $327,000. I don't think he's hit that kind. I don't think he's hit that kind of a jackpot just yet off of YouTube. I could be mistaken, because that AdSense, a few pennies a video really add up. I think that's probably one of the things that Dave used to. Back when Dave and I kind of were at each other a little bit, it was never, my part was never serious, and I don't think it really was on his either. I think it was just kind of more or less a lot of bravado or whatever. But I know Dave used to talk about, and I was like, dude, if you think I'm making money off of these videos, you're crazy, right? Because it was like I said, a few pennies. It was a few pennies off of 1,000 views or something, right? It wasn't nothing, right? And I'm pretty sure Dave has probably come to realize that as well. Unless a video is getting like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views, then you could talk about some serious money, right? As far as some ad revenue, right? But channels like his, mine, other ones that are small, still small channels, very micro channels, you might even call them. The money that we get really more or less comes from people donating to us and channel memberships. That's where the money comes for. And there again, it's not a tremendous amount. It's just not a tremendous amount at all. And like I say, ever since I kind of quit chasing the commentary dragon, as it were, it's all but dried up, which is fine with me. I never did this for money anyway. You guys know that. I did this to try to help other people, and it just and as the saying goes, the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze for me anymore, and I just stepped away from all of it. But anyway, like I say, poor old Dave, he's still kind of in the thick of it, and yeah, I just want to let you know, Dave, that I'm still following, I'm still keeping up with it, and when there's like some sort of really major development or whatever in the court systems and things like that, I will probably do an update my fans and whatever, because you and I are intertwined. We have a history, and I still want the best for Dave, and I like seeing small guys that rise up through the ranks, that through just hard work, effort, and just putting in the grind, become successful. And I do hope, because I do think Dave is an entertaining guy, and I do watch his streams and his videos for time. From I don't watch every one of them, just like no one watches every one of mine. But there are times where I'll watch and sit down, and albeit working or what have you, and I'll throw up one of his videos and I'll watch and listen to what to try to like same thing with Ray or Two Leaves in a Pod and other ones, other people in that story, just to kind of keep abreast and kind of what's going on. Anyway, so yeah, I appreciate you kind of being in chat there this morning, Milltown. I appreciate the dono. You didn't have to do that. I do appreciate that. That'll be used to buy me some more coffee, because that's about what I do anymore with money, is buy a cup of coffee every now and then. But anyway, get on with the store. Anyway, this next one, this is another one. This is another one of those ones that Purple sent me, and and if I had to, this is one of those deals. Like I said, the rules. The rules, guys. If I had to see it, you got to see it.
A lot of people have been asking for a feet loaf recipe. Yeah, I'm giving the dogs out for free. I'm a man of the people, if you will. Listen, if you're gonna come to me talking about loafers, you better be talking about meat loafers. Cause that's what's going on right here. We got feet loaf meatloaf. Perfectly seasoned feet meat, just the way I like them. And you don't have to do feet loaf, you could do a feet ball, dude. A little marinara and mozzarella on there. Listen, I ain't one to suck toes unless they're 80-20 and smother with a little bit of ketchup. And don't frickin' tempt me, I might sit on one of these molds and do an ass loaf next. A lot of people have been asking.
That's pretty weird, right? That's pretty strange and all that. But then that got me to thinking. I primarily do the cooking here at the house because I work from home or whatever, and I love a good meatloaf. I really, really do love a good meatloaf. I wonder if I got something like that, did that and fixed that, and my wife came home from work and she had to eat what do you call it? Foot loaf. I'm pretty sure I'd get one of them go to hell looks from her. I may have to give that a try. Just to get her reaction, her response, if you will. That's giving me ideas. I have to stew on that one. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll go with this one next. So this one here, this was a wild one. This is coming from Denham Springs, Louisiana. There were some workers. You can see here they're working on traffic light. They're trying to work on a traffic light. And you see, got a guy here in a bucket truck, and you got the foreman. I'm sure probably the old guy's always on the ground as the foreman, right? Holding up, I don't know, whatever. Because they don't do a whole lot. But anyway, then this happens. As you can see here. Now, let me tell you something. That right there would cause a fella to stain his shorts. He's now hanging upside down out of this bucket because whatever. Now, my question is this. This Yahoo, this foreman or whatever he is down here in the corner, why did they not have this lane blocked off, period? Why is he even allowing that semi truck to come through there? Right? So now he's all excited because his buddy in the bucket truck has got clipped by the semi truck. Right? So who's at fault here? Is it the semi truck? Because if we back this up just a little bit, you can see here, this guy's standing here and he's waving him, come on. He's directing traffic, right? And then he realizes, oh shit, that's too tall. Now my buddy's hanging here. Luckily, the guy had on a safety harness, right, to prevent him from just falling out. And now the trucker, of course, he stopped because he doesn't realize he's gonna hit the guy, right? So to me, again, layman here, but I would think this guy bears the brunt of this whole thing, because he was sitting there. It looked like to me he was telling that guy to come on. Isn't that what it looks like to you guys? He's telling him, come on. Yeah, smacks the guy. I don't know, guys. You be the judge on that one. But all I know is this guy that was hanging in that bucket truck upside down after that trucker clipped him, he probably needs to go change his drawers. So what is this? Is this, this is one I found. This, so this is kind of I guess you kind of like a body cam footage type thing. Evidently there was a hit and run incident that occurred, right? That's where we're picking this up, as there was a hit and run incident.
Anybody hurt?
No, nobody's hurt.
Okay.
The other gentleman, so the other victim in the accident, the white truck over there, had to move out of traffic just that way we can get people moving.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the person who caused it, maroon Jeep, off. I have pictures of
maroon Jeep?
Yeah.
I'm being told it's a maroon Jeep. Pontiac's still on scene.
He saw the whole thing.
Okay. You want to talk to him?
I don't have to give you my name or anything. I'm not gonna get in trouble or anything.
No. I mean, unless you got warrants. You don't got warrants, do you?
No. I hope
That'd be the only way to get in trouble.
There was a maroon Jeep. He got the picture of the license plate.
Yep.
He was the fourth one. Hit his white pickup truck, which pushed him into that, which pushed him into that one.
Okay.
Then the maroon Jeep. I don't have I just know it's a maroon Jeep, 4x4, and that's what my wife knows as well. Went around. She thought he was going to turn and park. I said he's leaving, and sure enough, he went down to 4 Mile and headed that way.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that I don't have the license plate.
That's
or
okay.
Description of a person.
He actually
or
ended up getting
anything.
that, so that was nice.
Okay.
Copy. Older white male, white mustache.
All right. Okay.
So we got an older dude who caused a 4-car pileup because he rear-ended, which hit into another one, cascading event. We got all that, right? And then the old guy leaves the scene of the crime, right?
Got all that. Awesome. That's what we need. Is this you?
Pretty good little
ID
dinger
insurance,
there.
That's what I'm looking for.
So now you're going to get insurance. Hang on. So we're getting insurance.
That's that same Jeep.
209, he's on scene, just smoked my squad.
So the guy came back and now he's hit the cop car.
Out of the car. Out of the car. Holy.
Grandpa returned to the scene of crime. The 4 wasn't enough. He wanted to get that cop car. He wanted that trifecta, the cherry on top. Get the cop car. Jeez Louise. We haven't had one of these in a while, and I was so glad I came across this one because, you know, Waffle House is near and dear to me. And we have a Waffle House video this morning, guys. We have a Waffle House video. And it's not your traditional, what we see in here, with chairs flying and, you know, the wait staff demonstrating their wafu, you know, where they can take those chairs and capture them and spin them around and then, you know, stuff like that. No, that's not what we have here. What we have here is, and this is not something that we see a lot in these situations, but we have an old white Karen that gets upset with a dude. So let's check this out. It says, loud diner gets served instant karma.
I beat the hell out of you.
If you don't come to Waffle House, all you.
This is the shocking moment 2 diners lose their patience with this man for being too loud, and the exchange gets brutal.
1 inch, guys. I'm straight 9. Nothing to do. What the fuck did I do? What's wrong with what I do? Girl, we're all Waffle House.
So I don't know exactly. I've watched this a couple of times. This dude here, this younger guy, he's obvious. He's got kind of a, I don't know, New York, New Jersey type, you know, accent. He sounds like something right out of The Sopranos or something. And it seems to me, my takeaway from this, now I could be wrong. You guys may need to correct me. An old white Karen would never do that. Oh, yes, they would. Yes, they would. Oh, hell yeah, they would. That is from my demographic, and I can call that out in a heartbeat, dear. Yes, I can. This guy here, my takeaway from this, listening to this, like I said, I listened to this a couple of times, is that he thinks because he's in a Waffle House that he can be loud and use vulgarities and just be crude, and he gets a pass because, you know, it's Waffle House and that's what's to be expected. Well, that may be kind of, for the lack of a better word, a certain reputation that is assigned to this establishment. Sarcasm, I'm being sarcastic. Squatchin, I'm getting concerned. I'm wondering if you got infected with the JFA worms. You know, it can be contagious. Have you been infected with JFA worms? I'm thinking you may have been too close. You may have flown too close to the sun, my dear. And JFA may have gotten you too. I hope not. I hope not. But anyway, let's continue on with the video here.
Oh, we're at Waffle House. Something's going on. Well, we're at Waffle House. We're hanging out. What you gonna do? Let me eat my food. Get the You're around 14 years old.
You're 14 years old and you're acting like some dude like out of the fucking Sopranos. Come on, man.
I'll pay for her tab. I'll pay for it.
I don't need no little punk.
You're right. I'm a little punk. You're right.
After confronting him a second time, the woman leaves, but when the man doesn't calm down, she returns for a third confrontation. But this time, things are about to take a turn.
This dramatic reading, it just, this voiceover is just so dramatic. trying to make it worse than what it really is, I think.
Yo, we ain't country around here. You don't come. I want to say, if you want to eat in peace, you don't come to Waffle House. Oh.
Well, yeah, you can eat in peace at Waffle House, dude. Come on, you ain't got to be an obnoxious asshole.
Oh, what the?
She's gonna die next week.
Dumped his scattered, smothered, and covered hash browns right in his lap.
Hi, buddy.
At her breaking point, she dumps the plate straight over his head.
Hey, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Andrew, we go get a new one. That's illegal. That was illegal. You know what that was? Assault.
But when they thought it was all over, her partner steps in to have a stern word about his behavior.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm trying to eat some food. Okay.
All right, Grandpa, calm down there, Grandpa. Listen, I understand. You think you maybe have one left in you, but I don't know. Going up against a 14-year-old boy and his buddy, I may be a little bit more than you want to bite off there, Grandpa.
That's how it is everywhere.
Yeah, you from New York.
I'm from Chicago. Yeah.
Oh, geez. Now we got Chicago versus New York. Oh, my Lord. This ain't going to be good.
63rd. Yeah, Chicago, my grandpa. They say popcorn food. Yeah.
I'm just trying to eat some food. That's all I'm trying to do.
Diarrhea of the mouth.
You ate.
Calm down there, Grandpa. It'll be all right. Jesus. Now, here's the sad thing. Poor wait staff is going to have to clean up that mess because that woman poured that shit all over the floor. Listen, I understand guys being loud, getting on your nerves, whatever, so on and so forth. But I don't think that's, I don't think that was necessarily necessary, the way she acted, whatever. So I think Karen just needs to calm down there. Granny K needs to calm down. I'm not sleeping properly. Well, Squatchy, why ain't you sleeping properly? Huh? Why ain't you sleeping properly? So, anyway, so, all right, so I've got a couple of GG's cleansers here because people seem to always, well, GG cleansers. I don't think they're that funny. But I went back through, but it's pissing you off. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll tell you what I do sometimes, like when I'm having a tough time sleeping, and I know you live in, to our neighbors to the north, you know, you're in, up there in Canada. Lovely country. Love Canada. You might want to get you some, they've got some gummies that are sleeping. Oh my Lord, it's JFA buddy. We're worried about you. We're so worried about you, man. We are so worried about you. We were talking about you earlier and about your affliction. So I'll live forever. Well, I'm not saying that you won't live forever. The problem is the worms, JFA. Because because I did research. When I was made aware of your affliction, when Squatchin was kind enough, was kind enough to make us aware, because she was concerned about you as well, that that you learned you have worms, and this is being reported accurately by Core from Now Recording, that you've got the worms. And so me being the good guy that I am, good guy people, right? I went out and did some research, and it seems, according to what I found on the internet, because the internet's never wrong about nothing, says that you get it from ingesting soil food, or playing with shit. And I know there was a time when you had a chemical imbalance in your brain, right? And you were eating dirt because of the chemical imbalance. And I didn't know if maybe the chemical imbalance was back, and so you were back to eating dirt again, or it was because of all the shit you've been slinging here lately. Because you've been slinging a lot of shit, dude. And I was just concerned. We're just concerned for you. We want to make sure that you've sought medical treatment and that you're taking the medication to get rid of the worms, because we don't want to see you out here in all the different chats and stuff dragging your ass on the ground trying to get rid of the worms. Because you're better than that, JFA. Well, Mr. Good Guy Peepaw, my final wish before my inevitable demise by worms is a brand new gaming computer, top of the line, graphics card, and a mic that works decently. It's my final wish. And a Peepaw autograph. You know what, JFA? If I had the means, and if I was still doing philanthropy, I would 100% get you a top-of-the-line gaming PC from Meta PC. No support here. I mean, no, I don't have no brand deal with them. I mean, they're not a sponsor or nothing, but I just think Meta PCs are good builds, good machines. And I'd take care of you, buddy. I would hook you up, but I'm not doing that stuff no more. Because the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze for me anymore. So you're saying I die alone with nothing? Well, I would honestly, hey, you know what? If you will DM me your address, I will autograph a piece of paper and send it to. I can do that. I can at least send you my autograph. How's that? That's about the best I could do. Would that work? If I sent you an autograph, would that work? It's better than nothing. Okay. Would you DM me your name? Basically, dox yourself. Dox yourself to me. Send me your name and your address and everything. And I will send you a signed piece of paper. And I may even wipe a boogie or two on there just for you. Just so you know that it's special from me. Because, you mean that much to me, JFA. You mean that much to me. All right. So let's get into the GGs. So the GG, I went back through our DMs, and she sent me a couple of things, and I feel like this is a good sampling of her type stuff. So this first one here says, I thought my circuit breaker was there, but we found a portal to hell instead.
Open it. Open it. Go up there.
Fuck that shit. Give me the screwdriver. You close it back up.
I don't know why that was funny to Gigi, but it was. And she sent that to me. And so it's obvious it's not a portal to hell. It's just a access to the attic that for some reason is above their toilet. Why did the people who built the home put that there? I don't know. I have no idea. People do crazy shit. Hey, how you doing there, Midna? Let's see what else did she send me. Godzilla's chicken joke. Okay. So let's
I'm 100% positive.
Hang on here. Let's go here. Let's see here.
100% positive that chickens have x-ray vision. Because every time they look at me, they always go, big cock! And I'm like, stop, you're embarrassing me. Gosh. I am.
Yeah, it could have been added after. Sure. 100% could have been added afterwards. 100% it could have been added afterwards. 100%. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. So what are you doing? You would like this, but you're not getting that. I watched that. That is the stupidest thing. No, Gigi, I'm saving you from yourself on that one. If you think that, listen, if you think that Nietzsche would like to see that one, then you just send it to her directly. I don't care if you want it. If this is not the Gigi show. This is the Coffee with Peepaw. I determine what is shown and not shown here, madam. Thank you. I may have some videos you'd like to watch about AI body cam videos. Sure. Bid and I want to see it too. Give the people what they want. People, please. Guys, I'm trying to protect you here. I'm telling you, you don't know what you're asking for with GG. Fine. Let me tell you something. You're going to get it. Okay? You're going to get this. But then when you guys all like get cancer or whatever from this, don't come running to Peepaw, because Gigi, that's who you need to, you file your grievances, you file your insurance claims, whatever, you go to Gigi. You don't come to Peepaw. I'm not in this one. Okay?
你瞎呀？你怎么说话呢？
See, and this got music in it. It's probably going to get me claimed, because that's what Gigi likes to do. She likes to put things that's got freaking copyrighted music to get me claimed, and I have to battle with people. No, it ain't Peepaw's fault. So all these guys do is they try to reenact freaking AI crap. Well, we got enough AI. Why do we need that? No. See, that's... No. It ain't Peepaw's fault. No, Peepaw's fault. Man, oh man. Well, this next thing, I don't know if I want to talk about this shit or not. I am not going to. There's other people that's going to talk about this, I'm sure. I'll let you guys go watch them or whatever, but I'm going to just make this statement real clean, real crisp and clear here. And as they say, as you youngins say, I'm going to say it with my whole chest. Last Friday, I was fortunate enough to have Seth and Toxic join me, and we covered a gay drama, is what I labeled the chat, or the stream was gay drama. And we talked about this creator that was in a beef with Tipster, and they had a gay blood sports over on Nerdy John's stream the other day. And we, just goofs and gaffs and laughs and just, had some fun. It was not anything serious. The creator reached out to me in DMs and what have you. And there was, I kind of talked about it a little bit the other night on Squatching. I called into, not Squatching, I'm sorry, K-Huck's stream. I called into K-Huck and talked about it a little bit there. Well, it kind of escalated a little bit yesterday. And I hope the guy is getting help. I have my own thoughts about everything, but I'm going to keep that to myself right now at this point in time. But I saw some people out there, and I think some of them are just trolling, trying to get a response. But then I also saw some of, I believe, this guy's fan base and stuff, and they're blaming Tipster for what happened. I want to unequivocally, without any doubt, say tipster is not to blame for what happened. Period. They had, to my knowledge, had discussed and had worked things out, and had he'd even put out a tweet, stating as such that that they had, I guess, whatever, agreed to disagree or whatever, and just was moving on, and that was going to be the end of it. They weren't, whatever. So these people that are saying that tipster's at fault, that's 100% not true. Now, I'm not, and that's just the end of that. So anyway, if he is on a hold or whatever, like I say again, if the guy's needing help, I hope he gets the help that he needs. That's all I'm going to say, period. And, at the end of the day, guys, it's just the internet. It's not supposed to be that serious. We make mistakes, we get goofed on. Hell knows I've made some mistakes. I've gotten goofed on and ripped on and everything else. And guess what? I'm sure I'll make mistakes in the future, and we'll get ripped on and mocked and ridiculed and what have you. That's just kind of how it is, whatever, right? But I do wish the guy well. Nobody that I've ever talked about or made fun of or goofed on or whatever, no one ever did I wish bad things on. I just don't. That's just not how I roll. I'll say 90% of what I say is all just bravado and just bullshit. It's nothing ever to be taken serious, whatever. And like I said, I don't wish ill on anybody, and I don't blame nobody for nothing, and no one should else either. This is the game. This is the game we decided to get into, And if you're gonna get into this game and sling shit, when shit gets slung back at you, you can't call foul. You just can't cry foul. You can't. And that's why I said, that's why the juice just wasn't worth the squeeze for anymore. I just got tired of the shit slinging, and so that's kind of why I got out of it. I still talk about and still slinging out a little bit here now and then, because it's just kind of fun to do. But anyway, what's that? Pumpkin? Yeah. Friend of mine, and you guys all, Xylee, her poor cat, Pumpkin, passed on. And I know she's really distraught, as one will be when you lose a pet. They become a part of your family, And I know when I lost my little dog Maxie, when she developed cancer, and I had to have her put down because she was just in so much pain, and it's a painful process to go through. You really get attached to those you really get attached to those little guys. There's not a day goes by that, because when I would play, I'd be playing video games or what have you, and she would come in and sit at my feet, or if I was watching television, she'd hop up in in my lap and lay out and, you know, and snooze, and I'd sit there and scratch her ears and stuff while we watched a movie, whatever. She was, you know, and she was always ready to go hop up in the car and go for a ride with me and stuff like that, right? And, you know, one of these days, I plan on hopefully getting another little dog to kind of keep me company. But it's some, you know, I know some people can get one right away, you know, but I'm not one of those people. But anyway, I send my well wishes to Xylee, and I'm sorry for her loss, and because I know, you know, Pumpkin was a big part of her life, her streaming community. Everybody loved Pumpkin, and I know she'll be missed. And anyway, listen, guys, it's about that time. I'm gonna have to wrap things up. I know that Toxic is planning on doing a catch-up today. That's his intentions. That's his plans. I'm not sure exactly what time. So keep an eye on his Twitter. Keep an eye on my Twitter. As soon as I get a time or a link for the stream, whatever, of course, I'll tweet it out and stuff. But anyway, I'm looking forward to. I've missed his catch-up streams. I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's just too much that goes on over there in that universe, and I don't even try to keep up with it, but he does, and I enjoy his recaps and his rundowns. So anyway, wish you guys all the best. I don't know if I can come up with something. Maybe we'll have a Friday morning stream. I just don't know. You never know with me anymore, when a wild peepaw can pop up here and there. But anyway, listen. Thank you guys for all tuning in this morning. I appreciate you. Again, Super Dave, thank you for the donation. Appreciate that, and hopping into chat. Anyway, until next time, guys, remember, keep your powder dry, and I'll see you in the funny papers.